Lord Veto stomped angrily out of the tent, almost knocking Milo over as the young wrestling manager came in. Milo looked after the departing Lord Veto, then turned to Jack and Big Rock. "Any trouble?" he asked. Jack hesitated. He was about to tell Milo about the threats from Lord Veto, but then he thought no. That problem was solved. They had more important things to think about. The match. "No," he said. "Good," said Milo. "Let's go and get ready." Jack followed Big Rock and Milo down a corridor to a small room off the main tent. "This is where we wait until Big Rock's name is called," said Milo. The loudspeaker on the wall hummed into life, and Jack could hear the sound of cheering and shouting, and not just from the loudspeaker. It could be heard coming through to them from the arena inside the main tent. "My lords, ladies, and gentlemen," came the voice of the Master of Ceremonies. "Next on the bell, the battle for a place in the final of the All-Comers Slamdown, with the chance for the winner to take on one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, the National Wrestling Champion, Agro the Fantastic Orc, in an exhibition match." At this, there was a massive cheer from the audience, and chants of "Orcs! Orcs! Orcs!" "This is it," muttered Milo. "You ready, Big Rock?" "I'm ready," nodded the troll. "So, my lords, ladies, and gentlemen," they heard the MC say in ringing tones, "please welcome to the arena that incredible wrestling troll, Mud!" Mud had obviously entered the arena, because the audience went wild with more shouting and cheering and yells and screaming chants of "Mud! Mud!" Jack could imagine the scene outside, the placards being waved, the crowd on their feet, their fists pumping into the air, many wearing the different costumes of their favourites, some with their faces painted in the colours of their favourite wrestler. "Ready, Jack?" asked Milo. "Ready," nodded Jack. And then he suddenly realised with a shock that he didn't know what he had to do when they got out there. "What do I do?" he asked, horrified. "Just be there in the corner with us," said Milo. "Watch out for any fouls from the opponent, though that doesn't usually happen with wrestling trolls." "Mud good wrestler," nodded Big Rock. "Fight fair." As the cheering from the arena died down from the loudspeaker, they heard the MC declaim, "And now please welcome Mud's opponent, the truly formidable troll, Big Rock!" Again the roar of the crowd rose, and as Milo flung open the tent flap for them to enter the arena, the sound was almost deafening. Milo led the way, Big Rock following, with Jack marching proudly behind them down the aisle as they made their way to the wrestling ring. The placards being waved excitedly as they marched down the aisle had pictures of a mountaintop on them, the same image that was on Big Rock's multicoloured costume. The crowd were going wild, many reaching out to try and touch Big Rock as they passed. "Rock! Rock! Rock!" they sang. "Big Rock!" As they passed the royal box, Jack saw the small figure of Princess Ava had stood up from the ornate golden chair provided for her, and he noticed that even she was smiling and clapping her hands as Big Rock passed her on his way down the aisle. They reached the ring, and Big Rock hauled himself up between the ropes and clambered in. Jack was about to climb up after him, but Milo grabbed him and pulled him back down. "We stay here," he hissed, and he indicated 2 stools in the corner below the edge of the ring. Jack was too excited to sit down. He looked up into the ring where the referee was reminding the crowd of the rules. "The winner is the first to get 2 pinfalls, 2 submissions, or a knockout," boomed the referee. "Pinfalls," nodded Jack, holding your opponent down with both shoulders touching the mat for a count of 3. A submission was where one of the wrestlers surrendered because a hold was too painful. But if the wrestler being held could manage to touch the ropes with a hand or a foot, the other wrestler had to release him. The referee was dressed in a neat and gleaming all-white outfit of trousers and shirt, with a black tie. He brought the 2 trolls together in the centre of the ring and told them to shake hands. For the first time, Jack noticed how big Mud was. When he'd been at the registration desk with Big Rock, Jack had been too preoccupied over his row with Lord Veto to take much notice of Big Rock's opponent.